What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be going over triple Masuda method breeding and a way to kind of get around mass releasing. So let's get into it. So one way to start getting around mass releasing, because if you are breeding, your box is going to fill up really fast. Pokemon Home is not here, so you can't mass release that way. So you're going to have to do it in the game. So one way to do that, I do very frequently. You come all the way down to autosave, turn that off, just like you would if you are in front of a shiny Pokemon that you don't want to run away. Go ahead, knock out a save. So now you're saved and on autosave. So if you close the game, restart it, you are at this point right here. Come on in like you normally would to go get a level 2 egg power sandwich, because at this point, it doesn't matter, because if I don't get the shiny, I'm just going to restart and get all my money back. Now we are going to go breed for 30 minutes because that's how long the sandwich lasts, and then we'll come back to hatch all the eggs. So I have tested a lot with this method, and it's very different. So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet now lets you be able to breed multiple Pokemon at once and multiple Dittos, and it can kind of be a little bit confusing if you don't really know what to look for or don't really know what's going on. So if you see right here, I have one Ditto. I have my Masuda Ditto breeding with the 3 starters. Now, we go ahead and check the basket here. There's going to be an egg inside. Do you want to take it? Yes. There's an egg inside. Yes. So we got 2. Well, the way I've came down to see it is you pretty much get 1 egg from each almost every minute. Now, as we already know, 1 Ditto and 1 Pokemon does breed very quickly if you are using a different trainer. I did the Ditto with just Sprigatito, and that was my Masuda Ditto, which is from a different trainer, which gave me about 60 and 30 minutes. For each of these, I did a level 2 sandwich, so I was already getting the increased odds of having eggs produced just from the Sprigatito and Ditto. Now, that did come out to be 60 and 30 minutes. That's about 2 every minute. I did do that several times, and I landed around there pretty much almost every time. Sometimes a little less, but roughly averaging 2. Now, I did do the same Ditto. Same game Ditto, same game Sprigatito. Lands at 35. That's about 1 every minute as average. So it does vary depending on that. I do recommend using a Ditto that is Masuda or from a different trainer. Very important. Then I went in with a Ditto and 3 starters, because I was thinking maybe if I'm doing the level 2 sandwich with all 3 starters, I could produce more eggs. Well, that actually just came out to be 55. Well, that is less than the 1 Ditto, 1 Pokemon. But again, it's almost averaging 2 a minute like we want. It's kind of evening out across, but you are getting less of each individual Pokemon. You're not really isolating it. So it is kind of a downside there. Now I did a 3 Ditto and 3 starters. And what I found out from that is I was at a 58, which again is 2 a minute. But the difference there is whichever Ditto I had as like the lead or the best was breeding more frequently with the others. So essentially 2 of the Dittos weren't actually doing anything. They were just there filling up party space, which I didn't really like. And what I found from all this is it's essentially better to just run 1 Ditto and 3 of whatever you're hunting for. If you are hunting 1 single, I would recommend just, doing the Ditto and the single just like you normally do. But if you are trying to get all the starters, go ahead and just throw them all in there. It's a lot more fun. So after hatching up all those eggs that we just grabbed, this is kind of what it came out to be. A lot more Sprigatito than Quaxley and Fuecoco. Now, they all bred with the same Pokemon with the same Destiny Knot. And this was the single, Ditto, and 3. Now, this is a very small sample for this run. But with the big sample for 30 minutes, full run 30 minutes, it does seem like 1 Ditto with 3 Pokemon that you're trying to hunt is definitely a lot better. Now, if you are doing 1 Ditto and 1 Pokemon, that is perfectly fine. That's essentially what you're just going to turn all these eggs into that 1 singular Pokemon that you're hunting. All you want to know, if you could hunt multiple Pokemon at once, yes, you can. And it's honestly a lot more fun because you kind of have a more sporadic, like, hey, you got this Pokemon. Now you just have to get these 2. little bit more Russian roulette on what can be shiny, because they're going to be definitely a shiny of each Pokemon in the same batch. So I definitely recommend doing a 3 Masuda method, 3 Pokemon, 1 Ditto. And then to fix the reset or release Pokemon, this is exactly what I do. So at the beginning, we turned autosaves off and then hard saved the game and then bought a sandwich. Now, if you see in my box right now, all these Pokemon are here, and I would have to go through individually and release them one by one. Now, if you sit on a full 30 minutes and collect every minute the whole time for a sandwich run, which is considered a cycle, you would end up having over 60 eggs or 60 eggs, more than a box. That's going to take you quite a while. What you can do is, since we saved with autosaves off, close the game. Game is completely closed. Start back up the game. Now all the Pokemon are gone. You've already mass released them. You don't have any that were there. If you do get a shiny, go ahead and save. Then you'll have to go through and individually release every Pokemon that's not shiny. But then you can take that one out of the cycle. Then you're just running 2. That's a way to fix mass releasing. And that's one way to make breeding in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet a lot more fun, a lot more entertaining, because honestly, in this game, it is very boring. With everything that they have brought within this game for shiny hunting, breeding is definitely now a very boring, very time-consuming task. But also keep in mind that you can breed eggs and go do hunts outside, run around the open world at the same time. So you can kind of double dip. Now, if you do get a shiny in the overworld, you're going to want to save, and then you're going to have to go through and individually release everything. But that's how you mass release, and why you should be doing a 3 Pokemon Masuda method breeding. So if this helped you out and helped you understand which one you should be doing, go ahead, drop a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.